Hello, Leo. Welcome to the channel. This is Asnointia here. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And for those of you who are new, welcome. So this is a general love reading, and I will be looking into the feelings and emotions of the person that you are connecting with on a romantic level. What it is that they are feeling and thinking towards you currently. The deck that I'm using is the Goddess Oracle deck by Amy Sophia Marashinsky. I will be pulling this one out. It was actually upright in the deck, but there's always a reason for something. Also, for those of you who are new, my method of reading is kind of different. I actually don't channel through any spirit guides. I do have the ability of channeling through my higher intuitive self and getting the answers that I need. Only at the end of this reading, I do channel Archangels Michael, Raphael, Gabriel to provide you with some advice based on what has come out in these cards. Oh boy. A lot of chemistry, physical chemistry, goodness me. Off the charts, intense, overwhelming. Wow. I'm getting that song in my head that I don't even know the singer, but it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. That song. There's like this intensity that the both of you have. Goodness me. But you know that there are some differences, and it's a little difficult for the both of you to be together. It's not a bad reading, but you do have some cards that are kind of dark here. 1, 2, 3, 4, I would say. So this could be somebody that you've been in a relationship with in the past. It could be somebody currently. It could also be somebody who it might be a situationship, or somebody who you've exchanged glances with many, many times, and you know there's something there, but they're just not saying anything. All right. So I'm going to go over these cards. First card is the strongest. We have here beliefs, followed by illusion. Then we have mystery. After that, we have wild woman, centering, nourishment, sexuality, betrayal, followed by abundance under the bottom of the deck, the overall arching theme. I'm going to express to you what it is that your person of interest is feeling towards you currently. My dear Leo, I have not been very open and honest with you when it comes to my opinions, the ideas that we share, our opinions and differences that clash. Sometimes you would say things and I would just stay quiet. And I never really told you about my opinion, what truly was inside. I didn't do this because I didn't want to stir up something and create a scene. But now what's happened is I realized because I wasn't truthful, because I wasn't honest, and I didn't tell you what was on my mind, what was in my heart, it has created a lot of differences between us. A lot of misunderstandings, disagreements, even a lack of trust. My beliefs and yours are quite different. Our opinions, morals, values, they're not exactly 100% the same. And even though I know this, I sometimes didn't share this with you. You might have noticed it. You might have felt it. But I hid behind a false mask, behind a veil. Never really telling you what it is that bothers me in this connection. Instead, I just stayed quiet. And then poof, I ghosted you. It didn't have to be that way. It shouldn't have been that way. But my lack of communication is because there was no communication from my side. I was being a little emotionally detached. In this connection, I have found that there's something strong in terms of a spiritual connection. I do feel that in this situation that I'm in, there's this understanding and there's this belief. Why are you in my life now? Why not before? Why not years later? Are we supposed to be together? Is this the way things are supposed to be? It is difficult for me to move on because sometimes I feel as if I know you, as if I've known you from another life. Something's very familiar. Sometimes you're in my dreams, and I can smell your scent even though you're not there. Your essence is around me. It consumes me, and I can't really break free from this. There's been some things that I should have been honest and open about, but I wasn't. I told you certain things and I kept little bits of sentences and truths to myself, but I didn't tell you the whole story. What you don't know won't hurt you, or will it? In this connection now, there is a sense of deceit, and because of that there's suspicion. Simply because the whole story was not told. Certain things were taken back. Things were sugar-coated. But even honey can fall. And whatever was underneath, it'll be revealed. That is what happened. I do feel a spiritual connection with you. And you have this way of grounding me. I feel very grounded. I feel very equal. It's like the yin and the yang. If I'm the moon, you're the sun. And everything comes and goes in perfect harmony. There's parts of you that have awakened. Certain parts of me that were once very dormant, very quiet. But there's this connection that you and I have that makes me feel alive, makes me come to life. If you're not there, I feel incomplete. I do feel that there is this desire to have a lot of fulfillment. And you actually are that complete and full package of fulfillment, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. You give selflessly. And I do like this about you. And it's hard for me to keep my mind off your body. I'm physically very attracted to you. I find you to be absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. And I want to be with you intimately so much that I obsess over it, that I think about it constantly. And what I did, and how I did, it wasn't good. I understand now that what I did was not the right thing. And essentially I betrayed you. You thought you were getting into a connection where there would have been truth, promise, hope. But I didn't deliver any of those. It seemed like that in the beginning, and I felt it in the beginning. But then all I wanted was the physical. And I understand if you feel as if I misused you. I overindulged. I took advantage. I took you for granted. I behaved in a way that was like a stranger. And it's hard for me to go back. I can't change my ways. What's done is done now. I don't even know if I can fix this situation. I wanted to be in a connection with you that was more physical. But then certain things happened and they changed, and then I started to feel this spiritual connection with you. And then everything that happened just didn't feel right. It felt as if I was using you. And therefore I started to keep my distance, because I knew the way I treated you was wrong. Overall, I feel that you are somebody who has a lot of earning potential. You have so much potential, and it is beautiful the way that you are, the things that you know, the wisdom you have. I do want to be that person who can be special to you, and maybe I can learn from you certain things about abundance, happiness, joy, prosperity, wisdom. Not just money. But I do see you as somebody who's very powerful. And I hope that at some point we can share this power. But in the meantime, I know that there are differences, and I have not addressed those differences. And it is exactly those thoughts, the differences that we have, our opinions, that made me drift apart from this connection. And that is also why I hide now, because I don't know what to do. All right, Leo. So, yes, this is a spiritual connection. And sometimes what happens in spiritual connections, so this person could either be a twin flame, your soulmate, or your karmic partner. What happens in spiritual connections is there is this understanding and this desire to be with the other person. It is an enhanced kind of attraction. And some of you can go on my other channel, YouTube channel, Asnointia Audio. Over there I have 2 videos that may be really helpful. They're more audio recordings. One is called Past Life and Spiritual Connections. The other is called Sensually Intense Spiritual Connections. This card, really interesting. Sexuality is right below my past life card. So they do align, right? They do align, and it is because there truly is a huge sensual connection here, and it is hard to let go. It's very difficult to let go, to the point where it might have even become toxic for some of you, or maybe your person of interest. Some of you might actually feel the roles are reversed. That is absolutely normal, because this is a spiritually based connection. There are these feelings that come through which are very strong, and you mirror each other. You pick up on each other's energy. So it is very common for you to feel the same thing that they're feeling. You're reflecting each other. Now, what I see here is this person got involved with you, knowing and thinking that there was this huge attraction, not really knowing why they're so attracted to you. But then they just went ahead with the physical. For some of you, this is not going to resonate for all of you, right? It's not a personal reading. But this person was very close to you on an intimate level, but then they realized that it was just that, and that was it. The problem here is you guys actually did have some differences, and it was not addressed. And because it wasn't addressed, it started to create problems, kind of like on the backstage, right? In the backstage, things started to go wrong, and because of that, poof, everything just came right out. Everything was like, okay, this is not working. Even though there's a spiritual connection, even though there's a physical connection, we really do have a lot of differences, and they were not being addressed, Leo. You might know that they were not being addressed, but this person didn't want to address them because they simply wanted you in this way. So they wanted to get their way with you. And unfortunately, what happened with the betrayal card, sexually, some of you might feel betrayed. You might feel this person used you. You might feel that they took advantage of you. But the truth is, they are starting to have the spiritual awakening too. It's not easy for them. Right now it doesn't show that, but in the future, they will start to regret what they've done a lot. And it will be like, oh, like a spiraling situation. It's just going to spiral out of control. It gets very, very intense. Some of you might know that I call it double the love, double the pain. Because in spiritual connections, which are past life connections, or they can be called future life connections as well, there's an intensity that exists because you have had love in that lifetime. You also have love in this lifetime. You have passion there, you have passion here, you have pain there, and you have pain here. So the soul remembers the feelings, emotions, and the intentions of another individual, not the memories. Very rare. If it's tragic, then yes, sometimes you can remember your past life. But what happened here is that those feelings have doubled. The passion has doubled. And it's very difficult for a human heart to handle the feelings of two lifetimes, this lifetime and the past. So yes, this is a huge connection. Some of you might be feeling so addicted to this person. This person might be feeling addicted to you. It is absolutely natural, okay? Don't freak out over that. Don't wonder like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind over this person. I'm obsessing over this person. You are not the only one. There are millions of people like that. Okay. Let's have a look at the Lover's Path Tarot. So here, I'm going to have a look at the reason why, if anything, the reason why certain things just didn't turn out right, why things started to go downhill in this connection. All right. So here I look at the reason why. Judgment and Four of Cups. This deck, some of you already know, I read in the reverse. Okay, let's have a look. Judgment, where are you? Okay, found it. So this talks about choices, passages, and changes. But because we're reading the reverse, it means having a lack of choice and not wanting to make a choice. Not wanting to go through that passage, not wanting to make that change. That is something that started to happen. Here it talks about a choice that must be made sometimes between the higher and lower impulses. Impulses, right? This person might have been a little bit like impulsive, aggressive. They could have just been like, that's it. I want this person and I want to be with them. And I want to physically be with them. But they didn't really think about it that much. It was just an impulse. When things started to go downhill, this person started to realize that, oh my goodness, I am starting to use and misuse my Leo. Should I do that? Am I supposed to do this? Is it good or is it bad? What am I doing? Yeah, that's what happened here. This person started to judge themselves. And what ended up happening, it talks about not having enough self-knowledge. Talks about lower impulses and not being able to make the right decisions. But this person started to act very differently. There was a sense of stagnation, the inability to act, and creating blockages, and giving up control to the universe. So that's interesting that that point is made. This person knew what they did was wrong. They knew that what they were doing was not karmically good. Did they decide to make a commitment? No, they didn't. They decided to keep the emotional side at bay. They didn't want to deal with the emotional side. What they ended up doing is completely blocking the situation altogether. So they didn't deal with it. Now, why do people do that? Why do they not deal with it? It's because this person was not looking for that type of a relationship at that time, which is why the beliefs card is there too. The beliefs card is there because you believed it might be something better. It might be something more promising. They believed it was just more like a casual thing, or maybe a friends with benefits thing, or maybe just being more physical, but inside they didn't want to become emotionally attached. So there is that difference here. We also have here the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups here talks about a dissatisfaction. Wow. Overindulgence. Did I not say that before? Yes. This person definitely overindulged in the sexual kind of way, or in any kind of way, even if it's energetically. You can feel that energy sometimes being given to you, and then suddenly it's pulled away. So there's a sense of dissatisfaction, overindulgence, and boredom. Taking something for granted. Taking the love, talents, and beauty that you had for granted. And the need for a more authentic way of life. This is what they felt. They were fake, so they thought you were fake. And that's where the beliefs issue came in. They thought you were like them, but it turns out you were not. Reevaluating the situation and relationship that felt superficial. What ended up happening when things started to go downhill? This person started to accept the situation the way that it was. Though discontent was still present, this was, and the card suggests, it's a passing phase. Yeah. So, Leo, this person got into the connection thinking it's going to be a great physical connection, and that's about it. And you are a robot, and you are not going to have any emotions. And that's what happened. This person ended up taking you for granted, taking the love that you gave them. But understand one thing, right? This happens universally now. I've noticed this over all the readings that I've done. Just because you give somebody love doesn't mean that they will or they have to appreciate it or give love in return. Why? Because everybody's out for themselves. You know, there's that saying, every man for themselves, right? Here these days, got every woman for herself too. So the thing is, this person was only thinking about themselves. Are they selfish? No, they're not. Because everybody looks out for themselves. Everybody looks out for what they want, what they need, and when they need it. At this point in time, unfortunately, this person was not looking for this, yet you were willing to give. They were willing to take, however, with a filtration system. They're only taking what they wanted. The rest that you were giving, they were pushing that back. So yeah, you guys were not resonating on the same frequency. Your opinions, your beliefs were different. They wanted something more of a fun time. And it might not resonate for everybody. But what I can say is that they didn't want something that's more promising, and they didn't want to become very emotional. They wanted to have more of the physical feeling. All right. Let's have a look at the Beginner's Tarot deck to see if there's any actions, any plans, any intentions that this individual has. Very good. Yay. They're turning into the hermit. Perfect. Good. Good. The reason why they're doing that is it's important for them to reevaluate what they are, who they are, why they do what they do. And they can only do that if they actually start to take a step back and evaluate who they are. All right. A mixture of cards here. It's so strange. I sometimes get the weirdest examples in my head. So I'm seeing salad in my mind's eye right now. And in the salad, you have salad that you can eat. That's very, it's sweet, and it's also very like bland. It's normal, right? But then you also have pieces of bitter and sour kinds of leafy grains in there. And those are the parts when you're eating or when you're going through this. There's the good times, and then there's also the bitter and sour times. But then eventually you digest it. I have no idea how that resonates with anybody, but if it does, it might just mean, it might just mean that in this connection there have been good times and there have been bad, sour, and bitter times as well. But it's part of the complete package. It's part of the stuff that came in the bowl. It is something that was given to you. It's something that you accepted to take. And unfortunately, you had to go through it. And you did have a choice. You could have taken those pieces and put them on the side and not eaten those pieces. But because you did, it gives you a different perspective. It makes you learn a lesson. You've learned from any mistakes that may have been made. And so, yeah, take it as it resonates. If anybody kind of resonates with that, let me know. I do get analogies and examples, and Sometimes they're very simple, but I do understand what it means, but I don't know if some of you resonate with it. So here we have, Leo, the Hermit card. The person definitely is in self-isolation. They are isolating, they are lonely, but they're forcing themselves into loneliness. Why? Because they're blocking everything around them. They want to have a detached viewpoint of problems. They don't want to have their opinions tainted by anything, and they want to be in a separate area where they're thinking about who they are, why they did what they did. How can they fix it? How can they not repeat this behavior? Because they don't like it. You were that trigger. You were that trigger. You ended up triggering this person without you knowing. You didn't know this. But it triggered this person because now they realize how much of a crappy situation they turned this whole thing into. It could have been beautiful, but it didn't turn out to be. They ended up making it worse. Here we also have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles here, it talks about how in this connection there is this feeling and there's this desire to work on something with you, either directly or indirectly, but they want to manifest something with you and construct something with you. What I also see in this connection is that some of you might have actually worked with this person in the past, or maybe even currently. You might have also been a part of some type of association, but there is a connection between the both of you. We also have here the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands does talk about how in this connection this person has made a decision, and the decision that they've made is that they want to date you, or they want to take things to the next level, a bit more promising. Now, with the Three of Pentacles also, it does indicate that this person is starting to have a lot of emotions and feelings for you. With the Two of Wands, they have made a decision and they want to move on. And what's interesting here is the Fool card. They are going to take a leap of faith, but be careful and beware that... Nope. Actually, let me take that back. I take that back. Okay. I take that back because we have the Hermit. So let me just tell you why I just retracted my statement. Typically, the Fool card is somebody who thinks, or well, who acts first and thinks later. And so they're very much in a rush. They rush things. And then as soon as something begins, that's as soon as it might just end right there. So this person doesn't usually, they're immature, and this person usually doesn't think a lot about the connection. But the reason why I kind of took that back, why? Because of the Hermit. They actually have thought long and hard about this. They have decided on what they want to do, what they're not going to do, how they're going to approach the situation. And that's where we have the Fool card coming in. This is now somebody who is still a little immature on the inside, but they do know what they want, and they are willing to make a sacrifice. They're willing to take that leap of faith, take that chance to move forward in this connection. Now, the overall arching theme, Two of Swords, is something that is going on in their mind right now. They don't really want to see anything about this connection. They don't want to hear anything. They have their heart closed. They have the two swords across the heart. It's like they're in denial. They don't really want to deal with it. But what's eventually going to happen is once they get out of this hermit mode, then they will be able to make that decision. So do I see any action? I do. With the hermit mode, it's for themselves. That's their action for themselves. Now, we also have here the Fool card. So the Fool card definitely is an action card. This person will take some type of action after they've made that decision, which is the Two of Wands. What they want. And you are what they want. It's sweet. I would recommend that when this does happen, take it slow. Don't rush into anything too much. And let this person kind of lead. Let them talk. Let them talk. And let them express to you what it is that they want to express. Because they may have a lot to say, especially after the hermit mode. All right, I'm just going to do a quick prayer. All right. So these messages are brought to you by Archangels Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. All right, so we have your take action, and then we have helpful people. I do just pick the top card. Top card is the strongest. If the other card's meant to come out, it will. In any case, I'm just going to read it out to you guys. Don't stop. So don't stop giving and receiving love. Wow. Okay. Success. Not bad. There is something better than the situation, the way it is right now. And reconsider. Ooh, okay, that's a big message right there. There's something better, reconsider. So we have here the situation will improve. We have an extra card that came out, be assertive. Then we have abundance under the bottom of the deck, the overall arching theme. Not bad at all. It just talks about being a little bit more aware of what's going on so that you can make the right decision. So Leo, first card's the strongest. Do take action. Not right now. Not right now, because remember, they are in the hermit mode. So they are just isolating themselves. They're not going to talk to you. They're not going to talk to many people because they're trying to figure out, in terms of relationships, you know, why are they so, the word is terrible. Why are they so terrible? So they want to fix this. They're in the process of healing, of becoming wise. So eventually you'll know when the time is right to take action in this connection. Also, it says take action in terms of helpful people. You don't have to just sit around wait. You can definitely talk to a friend, family member, somebody who you know may have had some positive experiences in relationships, and they can give you some positive advice. This could also be helpful people are people who have written books, blogs, any type of online resources, videos, stuff like that. So people who are helpful, it doesn't have to be a face-to-face chat, but it is important for you to consult or get information, because the more information you get, the more information you will receive so that you can make a better informed decision. Now, we have here also perfect timing. So yes, this person is going through a lot right now. They're in the hermit mode. They're not really talking much. Eventually, this individual will reach out. They will talk. There will be a time when it's going to be okay. And that will be in divine timing. When they are out of this hermit mode, when they become wiser after wisdom, then they have at least some strength. And from the strength, that's when they reach out. So there's still a bit more of a phase that this person has to go through. Success, yes, perfect timing, and there will be success. There's something better. So there's two things. For some of you, it might be somebody better. And reconsider if you want to be with this person or not, okay? For others of you, there's something better than the situation that you are involved in right now. So reconsider your actions, your intentions, your words. So reconsider all of that. Eventually, for both of you, both parties here, the situation will improve. So the situation will improve for all of you, thank God. And it does say here, be assertive. So by being assertive, it does talk about let this person know what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with. Let them know that you are able to keep healthy boundaries. And when you keep boundaries, certain boundaries that are healthy in relationships, not giving too much too fast. And I have to say, not moving in too fast either. I've seen a trend with that with all of my clients. It depends on the person. It depends on how long you've known them. So don't rush into anything. Take things slow. But be assertive. They have to know what it is that you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. Because when you keep those boundaries, they will start to respect you. Here we also have abundance. So with the abundance card, it does talk about how in this connection The heavens are going to shower abundance on you. Yes, the heavens are a different dimension, but energetically they communicate with us. They provide us with many things in terms of signs and synchronicities, symbols. Miracles happen, and they use everyday things as an excuse. Like, it's a weird way of explaining it, but this is kind of off topic. Let's just talk about, like, negative energy. If you have, because I've experienced this at my cousin's place in India. So if you have this, they had lipstick on a dresser, but it was right on the edge. And they did have a lot of poltergeist activities there. But what I realized that sometimes if you have certain things at a certain place, negative energies will use the excuse of using that particular thing to take some action. And so, yes, these energies that we have, positive and negative, they use science and they use the materialistic things around us to get through to us. But usually it's something that was already supposed to happen. It was something that was already supposed to either fall or something was needed. Like once, it's weird, but it was a really weird situation. I was supposed to do some prayers for somebody, and I actually ran out of matches. And it was COVID, so I could not go out and get matches. I completely run out. I looked everywhere, could not find it. And it was the weirdest thing. But I went to the washroom, I came back, and I was like, man, I don't have any friggin' matches. And then I look on my side table, my nightstand, and I have one entire complete set of matches. Fully, there was like 37 matches. I even counted it. And then I looked up the number in terms of angel numbers. And when I asked my angel guide, it was the weirdest thing. I said, how did this get here? Who put it here? And she actually said, Ishu, Jesus. Because he wants me to help people. He wants me to get rid of negative energies. But that's why I also have the Holy Light package. Many of you know about that. And that just like, I was like, oh my God, like he was here. He was physically in my room. And I have a tiny little bedroom. It was it was the weirdest thing. But my point is that when you get abundance, you get it in different ways through people. Things might just show up in your home, like the matches that I had. And of course, I was able to do so many prayers after that for the people that I needed to. But those were like my family and my friends, mostly my family. They got a lot of issues. So I just wanted to mention this to you guys, that abundance doesn't sometimes mean that certain things are going to just like happen like in front of your face. They may be through certain signs. Certain things might happen through another person. Or like I said, certain things might just pop up in your home and it's like, oh wow, I needed this, or I was looking for this for years and now I found it. But any type of abundance is here. And I do see that there's going to be some type of abundance. And there's not just going to be one. There's going to be at least two or three. I'm getting the number 2 and 3. 2, 3 different things that are going to come into your life. That's going to be very promising. I know I kind of rambled, but I wanted to share that little story. I have lots of stories. Hopefully one day I'll be able to use my other channel, Asnointia Audio, and talk about my experiences. All right. You all take care. Stay safe. I hope I was able to provide you with some clarity, some guidance in your situation. Do let me know. Is this what happened? Did some of you actually feel very used or misused? I'm sorry to hear that if that happened, but it does happen. It's something that happens, and oftentimes these negative energies have a hold on us, and we don't even know what we're doing. And we only discover after the fact that we've truly hurt somebody, to the core. And that's what this person is going to start to realize after the hermit mode. They're going to realize what they've done. That's when they become wiser. And after the wisdom card, usually we have the strength card. So then they finally will have the strength to be that person that can actually reach out to you and have that courage. But that's going to take a while. Let this person heal. Let them come to you. And then you take the lead. Always remember to be assertive. All right. Leo, that is your reading. I hope I was able to provide you with some clarity, some guidance in your situation. You all take care. Stay safe. I'll see you again. Bye now.